Hi, this is Angela G with No Longer Lukewarm for Red Hot Christians and Wannabes. This video is to explain a little bit of how the ministry that I do called Taste of Church to You came into being, and to encourage you to find your own place where your burdens and your gifts collide. So my story starts with a dream. It was a dream by Joni Stahl. She is from Joni Stahl Field Notes on YouTube, but she started with the Minute to Midnight. And she posted a dream where she talked about the end time harvest. And when I read that dream, I fell down on my knees and tears just poured out of my eyes. And I begged God, please, Lord, please let me be a part of the end time harvest. Well, I was unchurched at that time, since the time that God saved me. And so each Sunday I would wake up and ask God, what do you want me to hear about this week? And then I would go to YouTube and find a video that matched what I believed that I heard from God. Well, that was preparing me for my No Longer Lukewarm ministry, because now to get my blogs, that's what I do. I just say, God, please, what do you want me to talk about this week? And then I write about the things I feel that He's wants me to say. But anyway, one week I was worshiping by myself. I had my hand raised, and I got a really, really strong feeling that I wanted to worship with other people. And very shortly after that, within a week, God sent me to a new church called Harvest Time. And this church was very heavy on the focus of evangelism, more so than I'd ever experienced. And I just wasn't really sure what to do with that. I didn't really know a lot about it. Shortly after that, I had a dream, and in it, Sister Jackie, she used to have a channel on YouTube. Sister Jackie was firing me, and I had all these excuses for her, excuse after excuse. Well, I sent this dream to Sister Jackie, and her ministry partner, Sister Cheryl, sent back, is there something that God told you to do that you're not doing? And she said, even if it's just something the Bible tells you to do that you're not doing. I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No way. Well, unless you count evangelism, but that's really hard, and I'm not good at it, and I have no idea what to say, and I don't like, oh, okay. So I figured out that was probably what it was. So I got some tracks, and I was trying to pass them out, and it was really painful, really hard. But not long after that, a sister from church, Sister Janie, invited me to take some lunches down to the homeless encampment in Fort Worth. And I noticed that when we were giving the lunches, it was a lot easier to talk to people when you give them some food item. They're open to hearing what you have to say. And so that experience under my belt, shortly after that, I really felt led to bring some donuts and water to the men who stand waiting for day jobs on the main street near my house. They're there virtually every day, and they just wait for people to drive by and offer them work. A lot of them are Hispanic, may or may not be legal, but just men of all walks of life really go and stand and wait for work. So I was praying all week, God go with me, God go with me. I was really nervous. It was the first time doing anything like that by myself. And the night before I went, I had the idea to pray, God, please send somebody who speaks English to the front. Just send somebody to the front who speaks English. And that morning when I got there, I pulled in, and here comes a guy in perfect English. He says, hey, do you have any work for us? And I said, no, I don't have any jobs, but I have something for you, and I want to invite you to my church. And he said, I read the Bible. John is my favorite book. And I just knew that was a sign from God. John is my favorite book of the Bible. And I really, really felt like God had sent me there that day. Well, since that time, I just really got a burden for those men on South Cooper. Every time I drove by, I'd just pray fervently for those men. God, please save them. You know, I thought of this story in the Bible where the men wait for work, and somebody comes and picks them up at 9 and picks them up at 10. And I just kept praying, God, please pick them up before the 11th hour. Please save them. Let them take you home to their families to be saved. Um, and I go by there, a few times a week, and just the prayers just kept coming. Well, long story short, after a few more disappointing, frustrating times trying to do evangelism with another girl at church, um, it hit me one day. This is really where I need to be. Um, and so I started Taste of Church Ministry, and my gift is teaching. And so what I would do is I would put a Bible verse that would be somehow related to a snack. And I bring it every Sunday morning to the Men Who Wait on South Cooper. Well, um, sometimes I have leftovers, and I felt impressed that God would have me take the leftovers to a laundromat that is also on the way to church. So I stop at the Men on South Cooper, and I bring them everything I have, and then if I have any leftovers, I stop at the laundromat. And they're starting to get to know me. They're starting to wait for me now. Of course, some come and they've never been there before because it's a transient population. So some are there every week, and some just come one time. Um, and the worst thing that ever happened to me, I had two negative experiences. One, the man crumpled my message right in front of me and threw it on the ground. And another time, right when I first started going, one of the men said, "You again." And, I didn't take offense because, here I am pulling up in this truck and I don't have a job for them. So I understood that. But most of the experience has been really, really positive. And so I've been doing that for about 9 months now. And I keep praying, God, you know, I'm sowing, I'm watering, you got to give the increase. And I just pray that he does. But I want to show you this week. So this week's snack, these little fiery treats and a water. And the verse is Isaiah 43:2. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. Isaiah 43:2. And my message: God's hand is on his children through flood and fire. Tell God you're sorry for sin and believe in the name of Jesus to save you. So these are the snacks that I'll be bringing this morning to the Men Who Wait on South Cooper. And if there are any left over to the laundromat, just pass that. But I wanted to encourage you today that you should think about your own life and the places where God has given you a burden for souls, places where you just always feel led to pray. And then think about the gifts that God has given you, gifts that you can use for his glory. And see if you can find a place where those gifts and burdens collide.